So here we are at the National Stud in Newmarket, Great Britain, near the stallion paddocks. It's 500 acres of land at the National Stud in Newmarket.
It's an 11-month pregnancy. We can't risk covering before February the 15th in case the mare falls early and has a before the 1st of January foal.
So this is Dick Turpin, who breeds in the Northern Hemisphere during the normal breeding season, and then he'll be shipped off to Australia in June or July to do the Southern Hemisphere breeding season.
Sorry, I think you just need to stand back.
The birth date for foals in the Northern Hemisphere is always January 1st, and in the Southern Hemisphere, August 1st. So this guy gets to breed year-round. Nice. 4 white feet. Look at the shoulder on this horse. He's off to the breeding shed.
And at last minute, Dick Turpin won't be long. Literally. Mare that will come and foal here.
Live cover only for thoroughbreds, so they're limited to about 120 covers per year. 4.5 minutes later, he's finished his job. Looks a bit smaller, doesn't he? Stallion Cemetery.
A year, and then he broke a leg on the gallops, which in the 1970s was a fairly fatal thing to happen. But Paul Mellon, his American owner, said we'd like to try and save him, and they got a human surgeon to help pin his front leg. And having survived the op and everything, he's I'm so grateful to all the vets and the nurses that have looked after him. Instead of shipping him back to America to stand on his stud in Virginia, he said, I'd like him to come and stand at the National Stud. His fee when he first arrived here was about £10,000, which is fairly high for the 70s and 80s. He went on to become the most amazing stallion, and his fee at the height of his career was £100,000. Milk, and usually these are in little paddocks, but usually they're in big paddocks of about 6 or 7. And we just take the mum out, take her to a part of the stud where if she did neigh, they wouldn't hear each other, and the foal.
Come here.
And he doesn't really notice much.
Come talk to me.
And then they'll be out day and night at that stage as well, because the weather's better. And then.
Hi. Are you going to be a champion one day? Are you going to be a champion?
Or to go to the Saints.
Are you? Born at the National Stud? What better start could you have in life? Hi. What's your name?
We can just have a little wander around the yard as well if you like.
Now we've arrived in Cambridge for a walking tour of the city. This is the river that runs through the city of Cambridge.
The Corpus Clock. Oh wow. The college behind is Corpus Christi. And an old boy, an alumnus of this college, Mr. Taylor, made a fortune. And he's given lots of things to his old college, including the library behind. And he loved clocks. I mean, he's an inventor. He's playing claim to fame. He invented the thermostat things for the cordless electric. Right, so now you know how all about clocks. That insect is a bit like a grasshopper.
With a sting in the tail.
It's got a sting in the tail. It's got those big teeth, and the eyes are really nice.
See? It's
It has no hands, seconds, minutes, hours, so to sound the hour, it's the sound of a chain dropping into a coffin. To remind. Henry VIII finished it off.
This is King's College
And
at Cambridge.
and it was primitive. He started this
Henry VI founded this one, and that is the chapel. Belongs to the college.
3 Nobel Prize winners.
Trinity College.
It's got an income
Cambridge.
of nearly 30 million a year for this one college. And it's rich because that gave them lots of money. 1546, and that's King Henry VIII. How many wives did he have?
6.
7.
I know them. Anne Boleyn, Catherine Parr, Catherine.
Divorce beheaded died.
Yes.
Divorce beheaded survived.
The author Milne went to this college, the one who wrote Winnie the Pooh. He wrote it for his son Christopher Robin. Also went to this college.
Because it happened.
Quite famously, Isaac Newton lived here and experimented here for almost 25 years. Ironically, that's an apple tree in the front garden.
It's cool. We're going to do a couple of more stops on the way back. The first thing I'm going to show you is the most interesting. You all know what it is. I'm going to show you. It has a ghost. A girl was trapped. You see where that window's open? A girl was trapped in that room in a fire in the 1600s. And she couldn't escape, so she's the ghost called Scary Mary. And one of those. Have you?
This is an old coach stop in the pub.
The window, in the terms of the lease, the window has to
From the
stay
1500s originally
time so
established.
her spirit can come and go freely. So we are very kind. And in the Second World War, all this area was, and the American 8th Air Force were here, and they started to drink and write their names of their squadrons, their planes, and everything on the ceiling of that back bar. So it's now got a preservation order on it. There we go. But it was floating in his mind. No, but they said they did.
Watson and Crick, who unraveled the secrets of DNA, say that even though their laboratory was not far from here, say that they did their most important work over a beer at the Eagle Pub. This is a commemorative plaque.
This is the old granary, and the president of Darwin College Student Association gets to have this lovely room up here on your left.
Wow.
And it's really, really lovely. The only bad point is that when you are heavily working during the summer period, everyone else is sat having fun on this patch of grass.
And how many students live here then?
On King's isn't actually that big. I think only about 500 students actually go there. The halls were behind this building on the right. We passed them previously. You see the left-hand side here. This is Clare College on the left-hand side. So King's really stops where the chapel does. And it doesn't actually have that many.
This is King's?
This is King's on the right-hand side, yes. And that's Clare College on the left.
And how many students are on the biggest college here?
Well, at Trinity there are over 1,000 students, including fellows. So probably about 800 students, maybe 300 postgraduates and 505 Kings to finish the chapel, because once he began building it in 1446, the English Civil War broke out not long after, and the Crown came into severe financial difficulty. So it wasn't until Henry VIII that the building was actually finished. An original beams.
And can like students from one college go visit the students from the other college or not? It's not allowed to get in?
Yes, you can. Trinity is the only college which is slightly strict on that, because so many people want students from other colleges.
Okay. And when a guy gets a girlfriend from another college, can he stay there?
Well, I'm sure he'll make every effort to go and see that lady, even if he has to climb in her window.
So that's why they're learning to climb here.
Yeah, that's good.
That's why they practice the little jump.
Cambridge night climbers are very famous.
Night climbing, yeah.
You've heard about the night climbing?
I heard about it.
Yeah.
Now we know why.
King's
Gonna do it
College.
tonight.
Yeah, lots of people like to climb away, so they decided that they could try and shoot this cone down, but they weren't very successful, and they started to damage the chapel, which is obviously centuries old. So they actually put up scaffolding, and the scaffolding took 3 days to erect. So on the second night, they went home, only to come back the next day to find that the student had climbed this spire again, taken down the traffic cone and put it on another spire, and they had to repeat the whole process again.
That is classic. Classic.
But this is St. John's College that you're coming to now.
On the left?
On the left and the right, founded in 1511. They recently celebrated their quincentenary with a £2 million Mayball.
Oh, dat zijn grote joekels.
Oh, die kunnen heel lelijk doen, hè?
Ja, maar hij niet, ik zie het. Hallo. Ja, we gaan er hier mooi af.
Oh yeah, we are getting off here.
Yes, you're going to be eating in the hall just on the other side of this building here.
So,
Very beautiful.
Dutch jewel.
Yeah, thank you.
Moeten we dat manneke nog iets geven? Of?
So now I'm at the morning gallops just outside of Newmarket. Thoroughbred gallops. I swear to God we're going to start working soon at this meeting. But this is a fascinating part of the world. Newmarket is just an incredible landscape of racetracks. Both sides of the street here. There's horses everywhere. Over on this side, there's another track.
It's very important for us because my expenditure is all about the horses using the facilities. If the horses numbers drop, and they have dropped because of the recession, then there's less money for me to put back into the facilities. Basically, free profit we have made is raising all the today, all pay back into the facilities. But those shareholders pay dividends. That's what's so important.
Zin in.
2.5 days, I cannot be everywhere. I can't be everywhere. So very much meet and greet. Are there any places of tracks in here?
Leading the Oasis Green filly that's not far off the road.
And of course, the racetrack has to be maintained as well.